What's up, guys? Listen, I'm not uploading the full reaction to the Christian Comprehensive History Part 33 because it's just too much. I'm gonna upload my reaction to like the relevant bits, which is like most of the beginning and the end, but the middle is just an entire conversation between Chris and the girl troll, his girlfriend in some capacity, Jackie, who I think is Casey, and Chris and Lars as well, who I believe is Liquid Chris. They're just playing new characters. The context of the conversation is basically, it centralizes around how Jackie, the character Jackie, is upset that Chris won't give up video games or something to be with her, yada, yada, yada. And then Lars, though, has come back into her life and has given up his toy boats. That's the narrative they're going with. So he's more deserving, and it's a conversation about how she might go back with him instead of Chris because Chris isn't willing to give up enough stuff, blah, 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 whatever. The reason I'm not uploading it, though, is because EDP might as well be playing Lars, because Lars, the character, is supposed to be a black man who says the N-word every other... It's incredibly racist. Like, it's beyond racist. When it comes to the trolling of Chris, the trolling, it's not that bad. Like, Chris doesn't get trolled that bad, comparatively. But overall, it's just so racist. It's pretty sure it's Liquid Chris. It just pretends to be a black guy named Lars and just constantly saying the N-word, leaning on, like, really racist tropes. It's gross. It's not funny. You know, like, and I'm an edgy guy, but it's not a humorous thing. It's just incredibly racist. I found myself just sitting there listening to the video instead of reacting. So it was just gross. So what am I supposed to say? Just keep saying, oh, this is like really racist. Just playing on like racial stereotypes. A lot of like gross shit. I'm not uploading. Oh my God, I can't speak. I'm not uploading that. But I'm going to show you the beginning and the end as, you know, because it's relevant. Anyway. We should be back to our normal Christian reaction for part 34. So thank you very much. And I'm going to experiment a little bit.
What made him this way?
It's so loud.
What is the attraction?
I don't know. At this point, I think the attraction is the balloons he puts in his bra. So.
What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Chris Chan.
Hands smell sweaty.
On October 30th, 2010, after watching all the videos Christian uploaded that day, Jackie sent him an email giving a detailed breakdown.
Is it just me, or did the quality feel like it spiked here? It feels like the quality like exploded, like in a good way. I was just not expecting it. Maybe I'm just like tired or something, but I don't know.
Of how he took the easy way out on
just
nearly
bought
every
this
video
game?
effort he made when he stated that he would do all that she asked for him. For example, he only cleaned one small part of the bathroom rather than all of it, and drew something completely different than the requested 10 pages of forgiveness for the conclusion of Sonnet 10 that she was looking forward to. I have to bring up once again that this whole contest was a compromise. My compromise. For you. You won't get rid of your stupid video game for me, so rather than let that break us up, I decided to come up with this contest instead. That way, you could keep your precious video game, and I could still see some proof that you love me. But what do I get? Wow. You fail to upload videos on time.
She's trying so hard for you, Chris, and you keep disappointing her, bro. What are you doing? Jesus, sneezes. I wonder if Chris actually, you know, I truly wonder at this point, because it doesn't seem a little bit weird that Chris doesn't seem to be trying as much as like he could be. That sounds like a weird thing to say, but it feels a little weird. I wonder if either he doesn't care or if he like has a feeling that it's not real, so he's just like, you know, like, could you imagine that? I know this is maybe possibly a stretch. Could you imagine that Chris like knows it's not real? And he's just kind of like putting up with it because like it's the only thing that's real to him. That's fucked up. Could you imagine?
Didn't even make a drive to the library to upload them for weeks until after the 100th time I asked you to give a shit about giving me my videos. You cut corners in your videos. You refuse to do any video that causes the least bit of stress, despite the women you claim to love asking you to do it for you. You won't make the parade comic for me. It's not even about fucking Alec. It's about me. I am the one that wanted it in the first place, not him, and you still decided I wasn't worth doing it for. Jackie then revealed that her ex-boyfriend, Lars, had contacted her and told her that he wanted to get back together with her. He claimed that he had preemptively burned all his toy boats because Jackie meant more to him than his toys. As Jack...
Why? What? Lars had a bunch of toy boats? This is news to me. You know what? I used to have Hess trucks. If you know what those are, then you know what those are. If you don't, then you're young. I don't know what to tell you.
He became increasingly doubtful over Chris's lack of devotion for her. She gave him one more chance to prove himself by having a conversation with Lars over the phone to see who was more worthy of being with her. Chris agreed to take part.
I mean, what a picture. If you think about it, Chris is an absolute alpha male. You know, you don't chase women; they chase you. Because every single time, like, I mean, this is a troll, which is why it's still going. But think about this. You know, he's just like, hey, she can come to me. Oh, she wants to set these rules. I'm going to push back by setting my own boundaries, by not adhering to those rules. He's a real man. Well, not anymore, apparently. But you know what I'm saying.
He also confessed that he reprogrammed his mind to hate Alec Benson Leary less, though he still refused to draw comic pages of himself throwing a parade for Leary. In addition, he admitted to having some problems with his thought process to explain the poorly executed videos. It has come to my attention that I end up pausing to keep my train of thought going from time to time, and confidentally, I've realized with that, I'm mentally slow, or to put it in the other, more insulting to me term, retarded. Big whoop-de-doo reason why I take time thinking about details and things. I have in the past hurt myself metaphorically and hurt others' feelings, because my instinct responses were not all the best chosen.
Hurt yourself metaphorically? Wouldn't it be like physically or emotionally? Can you metaphorically hurt yourself? You know what? I'm thinking too much into this.
But I am a smart person, and I am well educated. Also, I looked up to Sonic the Hedgehog as my lifelong hero, because he's not only cuck in the feet, but also in the head. I may have missed a detail or two when I made the videos, but I still made them. It took me time to think on how I was to make them, but I still made them for you, because I care a lot about you, Jacqueline. Also, this may be a bad idea to bring this up, but after thinking about it, I feel it is in your best interest out of my care for you to bring it up. Lars has hurt you before, Jacqueline. He OTC abortion drugged your coffee and killed the first growing life inside you. Fear that if you went back to him, he may do it again, or even worse. Plus, he may be lying about burning his boats. He may have said that.
It's just like weird, because the way he said, like, I fear that if you go back to, he said, I fear if, because Chris didn't write the I, so Geno just has this habit of reading things the exact way that Chris writes them, and it's weird. It's funny, though.
He may only be saying it in an attempt to one-up himself over me. You told me so yourself before. Lars is no good! And as your caring boyfriend, I have to agree and remind you in warning. I will still have the phone conversation if you still feel it is for the best. I worry and care about you a lot, Jackie. I love you. Jackie continued to brand him a liar, citing how he kept changing the reasons for why his video efforts were not done to her satisfaction. They arranged a time for her to call him and have Lars join, but Chris missed it, writing an email in its aftermath revealing his inner thoughts about their relationship. I care a lot about you, Jacqueline wrote me, but this relationship appears to be on its rockiest of riptides to me. Mainly, it is up to you on the decision of staying with a considerably slow-minded, honest man who would show you a ton of care and affection, or going back to the ex who killed his own seed in your womb, and may do worse than that.
Wow.
Granted, there are other details about that relationship I may or may not be aware of.
This is bizarrely mature from Chris. He's like, you know what, this is your call, and I'm not gonna fight in this way that stresses me out. Like, you know, he's like, you're gonna make your decision, and if you're gonna, because think about it, and then this is from Chris's perspective, because we know that there's nothing going on. It's just insane. But from Chris's perspective, it's like, you know, you're asking me to basically compete for your affections, and like, that's not fair. You know, you want me to go through leaps and bounds at this point? Like, if you want to be with me, or you know, you'll have to make that decision. I can't be sitting here stressing myself out about it. It's a very mature perspective from Chris, surprisingly.
Really down and crestfallen on myself right now. You think about it all, and do not respond or send me another email or call if this is really the end of our relationship between you and me, and you go running back to Lars, or you're going to say, maybe we should see other people. Later that day, Jackie called him on the phone and introduced him to Lars.
Oh, hi Chris, it's Jackie. How are you?
Is that the, I forgot her name, fatter girl? I'm sorry, because I'm fat, but isn't that the fat girl that he used to date Casey? Is that Casey?
Good night.
The following day, Jackie emailed Chris apologizing for not being able to return to the call. She was impressed.
That was fun. Dude, it's so just fucking stupid, bro. So fucking dumb. I mean, I don't even know if I want to post this episode, because it's so fucking stupid. It's like childish as shit. It's just so fucking dumb. Jesus Christ. Okay.
With the maturity of Chris and Lars' conversation, and was also delighted to hear that he was going to redraw the conclusion of Sonnet 2 issue 10 the way she wanted him to, featuring a parade. In Christian's reply, he once again confirmed that he would redo the comic pages and asked that in return, they would finally meet up and start dating for a chance to prove himself in person. The next day, he found links to records of private conversations between himself and Jackie on the Quickie and shared them with her, worried that she might be getting hacked. Jackie didn't show much concern.
Maybe cut it down. I just wouldn't post it. It's just it's just racist. It's stupid. Like, there's nothing. It's like the whole entire episode is just fucking racism. It's just fucking dumb.
November 11th, someone took a photo of Chris at a local supermarket and promptly shared their findings. Meanwhile, he continued to converse daily with Jackie via email. He revealed that lately he had been under much stress due to all the psychological tormenting the trolls had done unto him over the past 3 years. Chris told her that he still went to his pastoral counselor, Rocky Shoemaker, for counseling and support. He highlighted that she recently helped make him think of himself as slow in the mental relays of ideas and thoughts to actions and such, rather than retarded. Jackie questioned Rocky's methods of helping Chris, since from what he told her, his counselor tended to make Chris feel good about himself and put others in the wrong without taking any proactive measures to improve himself. Jackie also criticized him for taking everything Rocky said to heart, but hesitating greatly when it came to taking advice from Jackie herself. After a few days of silence...
So I don't know, is this person like a counselor? Probably professional counselor in some capacity? So, like, who cares what fucking Jackie thinks? Jackie's a fucking moron. Like, you know what I mean? So who gives a shit? But okay.
Christian messaged her, declaring that he felt like he was not ready for a relationship yet, especially with someone who he had not met in person, and needed more practice socializing beforehand. Jackie interpreted his email as friend-zoning her, and claimed that she was fine with it, and that they could still remain friends. Chris in return wrote that her use of the term friend-zone bothered him, having been friend-zoned several times before, and clarified that he was mentally prepared and willing for sex, and that he wanted to keep that option open. He then elaborated on his intentions to legally take down the head trolls to put his mind at ease. 2 days later, Jackie wrote him an extended email detailing his numerous flaws. She first pointed out that no self-respecting woman would want to have a friend with benefits, and those who did had psychological problems and low self-esteem. She was also offended that after all their efforts to establish a foundation for a relationship, Christian confessed that it was ultimately too much effort for him, and that he was largely only after sex. Jackie then explained that women who were after sex would seek out men who were good-looking, manly, muscular, and/or had large penises. Jackie told him that he did not fit those criteria. She went on to give examples of his pettiness, vindictiveness, and hypocrisy. She asked again what good Rocky has done for him, pointing out that she only reinforced the notion that all his problems would go away if the trolls were dealt with. Anyway, I know this probably sounds all pretty brutal and shocking to you. That's why I want you to save this email and reread it, over and over. Read it again each day so the shock can fade but my message can sink in. Because you really need this message to sink in, Chris. You need to do something different with your life. If you don't, then the life you have now is all you'll ever have. In his reply, Chris stated that Jackie's description of women with self-esteem and psychological issues described him perfectly, and that he was not overweight anymore, and his penis was longer than previously photographed and no longer bent. Perhaps spurred on by her harsh email, Chris made a brief YouTube video announcing that he would once again leave the internet.
Attention, read my lips. Online socialization is a bust. Socialize in real life is the tops. And also, no more videos. Fuck you most, and fuck you social sites like MySpace and Facebook.
Okay.
I'm out.
His most recent correspondences with Jackie made it clear that the troll behind that persona made great efforts to make Christian realize that he was to be more responsible of himself if he wanted to change for the better, and that his main source of support, Rocky Shoemaker, only further encouraged his current way of life. No matter how great or small the possible changes he could make, Chris felt great discomfort and was reluctant to take his life into his own hands.
Okay. Wow, what a fucking garbage episode. There's really not much to say here. It's pretty bad. It was just dumb. It was like not funny. It was just fucking racist. It was a very unenjoyable watch. Frankly, I don't even know why I watched it. That's how fucking abysmal it was, but okay. Something. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.